Hi guys, Togo here with a new video. In this video we will talk about Retribution Paladins in Dragonflight. We have the talents. Of course, big disclaimer, they might still nerf, buff, add new spells, remove new spells, but the philosophy of the tree isn't really changing. Like, they will change maybe the positions on a few spells, but the basic lines are you have a AoE possibility, you have a single target possibility, a multi-target possibility, whatever. You have a lot of things. Also based on spells, you can be a more judgment-ish paladin, or you could be more final verdict kind of a paladin, for example, more holy power spenders. So you have a lot of good things. But let's talk about the paladin tree first. If you are a retribution paladin, you will get Hammer of Wrath and Retribution and Crusaders auras, which is basically the same as in Shadowlands. Now I think they will change Lay on Hands. I feel like it's a dead spell for Paladin tree, especially if you're like going for a Holy Paladin. Whenever they are going to have the Holy tree be ready, I feel like if you get Lay on Hands and Concentration and Devotion aura, it will be kind of a dead spell. Like for real, this is probably the worst talent that you can have as a first talent in all the Dragonflight trees regardless. So we'll go for Blessing of Freedom, of course. I think we are going for Concentration and Devotion Aura because we want to have Blinding Light or Repentance. Also we're doing a PvP talent tree, so everything I'm going to take will be actually possible and translatable into PvP. So we're going to get Blinding Light because it's an instant CC, but of course you will get Fist of Justice, so basically you will have a 30-second stun and also a combination of a Blinding Light, which is a 1.5 minute CD, and you will have like some great synergy with a warrior, for example. We're going to take a Divine Steed, and we're going to take Cavalier. I feel like 2 points into the Seasoned Warhorse is probably too much, so I won't take it except if I have to progress into the talent tree. Here it is more of a healing kind of a tree, and you have here your utility spells, defensive spells, and then on the right side you have like the more damaging spells. So as we are playing a Retribution Paladin, I will go for the middle tree and the right tree probably, and we'll get Seal of Alacrity because it is 2% haste, always nice to have. We are going for Rebuke because we thought that you will feel like a Wrath of the Lich King Paladin, so we'll take it. I'll go for Seal of the Templar, which basically makes it that you gain increased yards on your spells whenever you are going for your charger with Cavalier, Divine Steed, or whenever you have like Crusader Aura. But Crusader Aura looks like not really a PvP aura to me. I think you prefer to have Devotion Aura up or maybe Retribution Aura, although it's not yet implemented that you get Seraphim whenever someone goes below 50%. I feel like it's not going to be that good, but I think it's still better than like Crusader Aura in PvP. So we'll go for Seal of the Templar. We are going to improve the Holy Power spending abilities by 20%. Also get the speed and avoidance increased by 2%. It is still good because we want to progress into the south end of the tree. I might maybe remove it if I feel like I need an extra point. We're going for Avenging Wrath, of course. We're going for the Judgment, generating 1 Holy Power, which is actually super important. Judgment also causing the target to take 25% increased damage from Holy Power, also super necessary. Let's get Bop, because Bop is also a very good utility spell. Blessing of Sacrifice, and I will probably take Recompense, which is probably one of the most flavorful spell from the Paladin tree. Passive, because you might be like a god in RBGs, you will be a god in BGs. I think in arenas they will just switch targets. I don't think they want to get one shot by a judgment, so you might probably go for sacrifice of just if you are high MMR. I think like in low MMR they might just tunnel the target and you will get like a one shot judgment. So I'll take recompense. After image, a very good talent, but I'm going to first and foremost put a point in Divine Purpose instead of Holy Avenger. They should put Holy Avenger in a 2-minute CD, but a 3-minute CD is a bit too big, unfortunately, so I'll go for Divine Purpose. And now we are going to go even lower in the tree before we take after image, because I feel like in PvP it will not be that good, because what are the chances that you're going to um, have the need to heal in AoE, except maybe if you're playing versus cleaves, it might be maybe good to have. I think it's better for a Holy Paladin to have it though. So I'll go for Avenging Wrath. Also, it's not yet implemented. It might be that it's not working or it's meant to be another spell, for example. Avenging Wrath, whenever you're going to play versus, let's say, a caster cleave, I would go for Blessing of Spell Warding, and whenever you're going for something else, like a cleave, I would then improve the Blessing of Protection by 60 seconds less, so it will be a 4-minute CD. It's not that important though. I'll go for Seal of Might, 12% increased mastery. I think you will have a lot of possibilities to do also with Seraphim. If you get Seraphim or Sanctified Wrath, you can choose depending on the spec that you're playing. I'll play with Unbreakable Spirit, very good. And I have like 6 points left. So the decision is pretty much um, very good for you actually, because you can go for example, Seraphim, because it's always fun to have. But you can also go for a longer Avenging Wrath. For testing purposes, I think Sanctified Wrath is probably the better one. Just in general, because you will have your PvP talent, which is how it's called. That whenever you get crits, you get a chance like a faster Avenging Wrath, or whenever it procs, you get an Avenging Wrath, and also a hard-hitting melee attack. But I think it's just better in general to get this. But you can also go for Seraphim. Now you have like 5 points left, and you can basically go for the Mad Paragon, which I'll probably go because those spells are not that interesting. So like Seal of Order is very interesting. I like it. I also like Off Dusk and Down, but you need to spend a lot of points that are not really something that you would go for. So I'll go for probably Touch of Light, which is your spells and abilities have a chance to cause your target to erupt in a blinding light, holy damage, or healing an ally. I mean, it's not that good, but let's take it. Seal of the Crusader, basically giving you 15% increased holy damage, which is actually very nice. It procs 3 times per minute, so you will have a 15 seconds uptime per minute of Seal of the Crusader, so it might be very good, especially if you are like with Avenging Wrath. The wings, you can really do a lot of damage. Let's go for the Mad Paragon, because you will have Hammer of Wrath and Judgment dealing 10% increased damage and extending your Avenging Wrath, which is still very good. So now, let's go to Retribution Paladin, but let's discuss real quick the good things about Paladin Tree. Basically, you will get more CC, you will get more mobility, because you will have Unbreakable Spirit, which is probably the talent that you are going to choose the most in Shadowlands. Now you will have both. Your judgment still stays the same. You have Divine Purpose. Um, you will have Bop or Blessing of Spell Warding, which is basically a good choice, because sometimes versus casters you are like completely naked. You will have a great Blessing of Sacrifice incentive to make them switch targets, which is also by itself a win. You will of course have Seal of the Templar giving you more yards. You will have more damage with spending holy powers, for example. But the problem is, I don't know if it's already implemented in Shadowlands or if it's going to translate in a straight buff. You will get more speed with obduracy. What a stupid word. Seal of the Crusader, of course, giving you extra damage again with modifiers, and the Mad Paragon, which is a legendary, so you will get a legendary for free in the Paladin tree. Now let's go for Retribution Tree. You will see some good, interesting things. We go for Blade of Justice, Divine Storm, of course, Art 4, and you want to have procs, because the more holy powers you have, the more spenders you have, the more damage you will have. So basically you will go for Holy Blade, 100%. I don't know if you want to make them crits. For now, I'm not going to take it. The increased haste is good, but do I want to spend 1 point for 2%? I don't know. For now, Timely Judgment is probably better, because the more judgments you have, the more 25% increased damage you will have on your next Holy Power ability. and that's all in all is also very good for your Mad Paragon legendary that you will have, and that Avenging Wrath actually prolonging with this talent. We'll go for Shield of Vengeance because it's still very good. We're going for improved Crusader Strike, so you will have 2 charges, and of course your Judgment doing more damage. I'm going to take that as well. You will need to have Expurgation because, again, the critical hits, I don't care about that. But we need the Blade of Wrath to reset more because of Art of War, so I'll take that too. I don't like consecration. I saw Subtleties take this. I would not take it in PvP, especially since I'm not boosting anything from consecration at all with the tree that I'm going to make. I'm going to take Last Rites because I like the extra damage on my judgment. I don't know if I'm going to take Deemed Unworthy because it's only 4%. And I guess with all the modifiers it might be a lot, but for me 4% is meh. I'll take Wake of Ashes. It's pretty much the same that what you had. It's a good generating ability, and I don't know if I'm going for Path of Ruin because it's suspending, and I don't know if we are going to starve from holy power perspective or if we will have too much. That must be like tested. I feel like it's more safe to go for Ashes to Dust, which is basically your tier set. You will have sometimes a Wake of Ash proc instead of a Blade of Justice proc. So basically you will have more damage and more holy power to spend on other abilities, which is for me Execution Sentence. Especially with the Executioner's Will, you can extend it in PvP. You might just do a big boom, like a real PvP montage video-ish damage. So I'll probably take it just for testing purposes. I wish I had the alpha, but I don't. So I will take for sure Executioner's Will. I'll take Healing Hands because, again, we want to survive in PvP, and that's very important. Now let's go for the left side. This is improving your consecration damage. Here, consecration, again, larger, movement speed reduction, I don't care. Long Arm of the Law, I don't care about movement speed. Like 20% is nothing for 2 seconds. Prefer to not play with that. So now we're going for Zeal, because Zeal, again, the more auto attacks you will have, the more Art of War procs you will have, the more Art of War procs you will have more Blade of Justice, which is more holy power regeneration, or more damage with a Wake of Ash proc, which is also going to generate 3 holy powers. So basically Zeal is the must take talent here. I feel like everyone will take it, and if you're not taking it, you are trolling. Please don't take Boundless Judgment because, again, it will just chain to a nearby enemy. It is interesting for AoE purposes, but you want to be full of holy power. You will not you don't want to be 0 holy power like most of the time. You want to have more, and Zeal will get that. And especially if you get like Wake of Ashes procs, it is basically like a nuke every 15 seconds, something like that, if you are lucky. So I prefer to go for Zeal. I will not take Righteous Verdict because for 1 point it might be interesting, but I think it will be starved like coming the end of the talent tree. Excuse me. I'll go for Inner Power because every 10 seconds in combat you gain 1 holy power. It is not much, but it is passive. You will not need to think about. You don't need to put a consecration because I see consecration periodic damage has a chance to grant you 1 holy power, but people will just walk away from it. Or you are mobile, you need to run your consecration, you will need to put it again, so you just CD again. I think Inner Power will be the pick, and the other one is good for PvE though. So if you're doing PvE, just take Sanctification. Exorcism, I think I always demanded Exorcism back, so now I feel like I got it, so I need to take it. Also, if you see the scaling, the damage itself is not wow. It's basically less damage than a Blade of Justice, but the second part, which is a dot, is very interesting for, let's say, versus a rogue, versus people that are trying to reset. It is basically 120% attack power. So basically, it will do as much damage uh, as an execution sentence whenever you're going to actually try to do an exorcism in total. So I feel like it's still worth it. Also, 30 yard range. I mean, you get something to actually stop rogues to run away and reset, so it's always good. And also 20-second CD, it's alright. And you don't need to spend anything, and you get nothing holy power wise. So I think it's a great talent to put like a point in. I'll take Hand of Hindrance because I want to progress to the left side. Because I don't want to have Final Verdict. I feel like Final Verdict is very good, but the problem is you will need to take dead talents or like close to dead talents. Like I think this is quite good, but it's ramping. Here, Hammer of Wrath is not that good, especially in PvP. It will be good to finish people off, but whenever are you going for a Hammer of Wrath? Mostly you are going for Templar's Verdicts, Judgments, a Blade of Justice, and Wake of Ashes. So it's not that good. For Final Verdict, spending 4 points is a bit too much, in my opinion. I hope they will change the location to be more like in the middle, but I don't think they will. I feel like you should exchange Final Verdict with, for example, Execution Sentence. Execution Sentence is a very good talent, and you will have incentive to take it if you want to finish off people. And I think Final Verdict by itself is not a great legendary. It is useful because you will have more yards, but is it very good? I don't know. I feel like it's alright. You take it by default in Shadowlands because you don't have a lot of good legendaries. Hand of Hindrance, of course, I'm taking it to expand. Now I have like 10 points to spend, and I'm going to be honest, my 10 points are here. Virtuous Command and Templar's Vindication, both great conduits. You will spend 4 points here, and then you have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. I think like Leandrin's Fury is not that good because you will, again, Avenging Wrath, very good. You gain 1 holy power every 5 seconds, but your Avenging Wrath is basically a 20-second uptime, so you will have 4 holy powers. It's not that good, but you will take the Avenging Wrath Might because you want that extra critical strike chance. So I'm going for Templar's Vindication. I'll go for Avenging Wrath Might because that's the PvP talent. If you want to Crusade, that's good for PvE, but for PvP you want to have Might. Divine Toll, very strong, I'll take it. Divine Resonance, it's basically this, but better. So I'll go for Divine Resonance. I'll go for Virtuous Command because basically it will give you a 5% additional holy damage for 10 seconds. I mean, it's passive, you don't need to think about it, and you will do more damage. Ashes to Ashes, again, when you benefit from Art of War, which is spec'd into proccing a lot, you will have a 4-second Seraphim. 4-second Seraphim gives you 12.8% mastery, 8% haste, crit, and versatility. So it's very big to have. It's very strong. But it's written the light magnifies your power for 15 seconds. That's not true. It's a bug. I don't think it's a bug, but it's not the right tooltip. It will be only 4 seconds. And of course, Final Reckoning, because again, imagine you're doing Final Reckoning, Divine, you're doing Avenging Wrath, Final Reckoning, Divine Toll, and then you're spamming your Tempest Verdicts and your Execution Sentence. Or imagine you do Execution Sentence, Wake of Ashes, Avenging Wrath, Final Reckoning, Divine Toll, and then you're spamming your Templar's Verdict. And then you will have the big damage from the Execution Sentence to finish off the target. I think it is going to be lit to play this spec. Like all of this, it's great to have. Like, of course, I would like to have a chance to have a Divine Storm for free, but is Divine Storm a very good spell to press in PvP? I feel like not, because you will break CC, or your damage is not that high because it's 20% increased damage, which is nice, but you don't forget it's only a 150% attack power, so it will scale alright, but not that much. And again, you will need to press Crusader Strike, which is basically a dead spell. You will press Crusader Strikes whenever you have like nothing to press, but that's really a filler spell. You do it like maybe 5 times in an arena match if it's like a duration of 4 minutes or 3 minutes. I mean, and also it's 15% chance, so you will have basically the need to press 8 Crusader Strikes to get 1 free Divine Storm. That's not happening in PvP. 100%. People will kite you, you will not even be in range for Crusader strikes, and you're going to do Blade of Justice. The only reason why we take this talent is to get the High Lord's Judgment, and the further we can go in the talent. So this is my talent for my talent tree for Retribution. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this preview. Did you learn something? I think like everyone is going to go for this specific build because again, you will have a lot of damage, a lot of utility, a lot of defensives, a lot of healing too, and you don't have a lot of variation though. So I feel like Paladins will have the shorter end of the stick. I mean, Retribution, like the diversity wise, they will need to change a few talents up to actually give you like more builds. For now, you're going to play this build and that's it. Of course, you have PvP talents to look up for. Maybe you want to have cleanse toxins versus assassination rogues, for example, so you will change a few things up. Maybe you don't want to play this and you prefer to play on the left side, which is alright because those are free holy wards. A ward of glories, for example, you will get like of dusk and down, so basically you will get a flat 6% or 4% damage taken reduced, for example. Seal of Order is also quite nice, for example. You have a lot of good things, but I feel like this tree is probably the most popular tree that everyone is going to play whenever you are going for a Retribution Paladin. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you like that content. Please follow the Twitch stream. We're streaming at least 2 or 3 times per week. I'll try to also interact with my viewers and do viewer games. And of course, if you like the video, like the video, comment below what you think about the Retribution tree in Dragonflight. I'm super excited. Of course, I feel like I'm going to play a lot of classes in Dragonflight just to test out and to actually feel which class I'm going to main next. But yeah, again, we will see each other very soon. Of course, stay tuned and have a great day. Bye.